I want to share with you a story about how your words can help someone achieve incredible things. Stick around. Hey, my name is Dennison, and I want to share with you a story about how you can help others to overcome great odds. I want to share with you how you can help them push way past what they think is possible. Years ago, when I was in the military, I remember being on a course that was based on physical and mental toughness. We had to march for many miles carrying great amounts of weight on our backs. And honestly, this was the first time I was really pushed beyond what I thought was possible. I'd completed many tests before, none of them though that would test me like this. I remember that day being very wet and very windy, and because of the terrain we were going to go over, I knew it would be an extra tough day. As we stood at the bottom of the path, looking up the mountain we were about to climb, I knew it was going to be hard, but I was determined. I was really determined though. This was a group effort, and I was not about to let the team down, especially as I was the new boy. The day went on and it just seemed relentless. The weather was fighting us as much as the hills were. I could feel my mind giving up. Although I was one of the youngest, I certainly did not want to be the first to drop out. I was determined to push on. Hours passed and we still kept going, up and down the mountains and around the lakes and woodlands. I was breaking fast. It was so hard that we had started with a team of about 30 people and we were down to about 17 or 18. A lot of people had dropped out and given in. I didn't want to do this though because of the amount of grief I would have received when I finally got back to camp. I remember stopping at the base of another ascent for a water break and thinking, this is it, I'm done. When all of a sudden one of my senior corporals tapped me on the shoulder and said, Dennison, you're doing an incredible job and I'm so proud to have you in my section. Keep going, there's only about 2 more miles to go and we're done. I felt inspired. Although bits of my body hurt I didn't even know existed, I felt like my mind was now refueled and I was going to keep going. I remember the pain of pulling on my backpack and how sore my shoulders were. I stood up and my legs and my feet were burning. However, my mind kept saying, you've got this. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Just keep going. And with that, off we went up the hill again. It seemed to take an age to reach the top. Eventually though we made it. When we were there I thought, okay, so now I'm done. That was the longest 2 miles of my life and now I'm literally broken. And just as I thought it, the same corporal came up to me and said, honestly Dennison, I'm really proud of you. Remember, it's all downhill from here. Just keep going. Off we went with an accelerated pace back down the slope. The pack on my back now was bouncing around like crazy and the shins and my feet were on fire. I definitely had some serious blisters I'd have to deal with when we finished. However, I had a good mindset and I just kept going. Eventually we made it to the bottom of the slope and I remember this very well because I thought it was going to be the end. I thought that's it. I was exhausted. My whole body was wet through from sweat and rain. My legs were cramping and so sore. My feet were in so much pain it was almost unbearable. And then again, the same corporal came up to me and said, see Dennison, I told you could do it. There's only the march back to the vehicles now and we're done. I was broken physically. However, somehow he was re-energising my mind so that I could push past the pain and pick myself up to keep going. So after a brief period of getting some fluids drank, once again we set off. Tired, bleeding, and in so much physical pain I was stiff and limping. However, I was determined. After about a further 3 miles we eventually got to the pickup point and I remember almost collapsing and actually shedding a tear. Not because of the pain though, but because of the accomplishment I'd just achieved. All of the team, the guys that had completed the course and the instructional staff, clapped and cheered me on. I was so proud that day. I had proven to myself I could do it. From the 30 that started, there was around 14 soldiers left. Everyone else had given up or suffered an injury. Me? Well, I was the youngest guy there, and with the least amount of experience, I was still wet behind the ears. And here I was at the finish, stood amongst some of the best soldiers I'd ever had the pleasure of serving with. That corporal had recognised how hard this had been for me. He knew that my body and my mind were not used to that kind of punishment. He also knew that he couldn't help me physically, yet he could help me mentally, just by using a few choice words. Although what he said to me wasn't the most honest, his intentions were to push me beyond what I thought was possible. After the first guy had given in, it would have been so easy for me to do the same. I believe it would have set a precedent for the rest of my career in the military and in my life, knowing that I could just give up at any time rather than battle through. Instead, he knew how to motivate me. In the end, we ended up doing so many more miles than the initial 2 that it was just crazy. However, he knew that he needed to break it down for me so that I didn't have to face the true mileage in my mind. I only had to face what he had told me. This taught me some incredible life lessons. And I'm very proud to say that I went on to become a corporal and was able to return the favour to a junior soldier and help them through a challenging test. And throughout my career, I hope I inspired many like he did. I've taken those lessons and I still use them today. In all I do, I always say, I will go just a little bit further, and then a little bit further, and then eventually I get to the end. You see, we should always keep encouraging each other. If you see someone struggling to achieve their goals, a simple word of encouragement might be all they need to overcome any adversity. So it's so easy to show somebody empathy and push someone to believe in themselves. And trust me when I say the rewards are beyond anything money can buy. So why don't you take the time out to reach out to somebody and just say, well done mate, you're doing an incredible job, just keep going. Because the way that can make them feel, well, let's just say it might be what they need to get over that final mountain. So to you I say well done. You are absolutely incredible, and I believe in you. So remember, be daring, be you, be all you can be the person that reaches out to another and encourages them from time to time. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is the mindset peacocking way. Hey, if you like what you've seen, please don't forget to like, share, and just, let other people know what we're up to. There's loads more coming, and we'll see you very soon. Cheers.